a D with the 1-2 boom da don't the match of boom dun bum 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 dun but
Everyone keeps saying, oh, you're wrong. Like, I'm just watching a movie like, oh my god, like this. But then there's a plot twist that you don't expect. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be telling you my top picks for what to watch on Netflix during quarantine. So, I have it broken down into different categories. I have it on my phone. So we have movies, stand-up, shows, limited series, K-dramas, and powerful black folk. So, for movies, I think this is like my biggest category. I have What Happened to Monday. Now, this movie was really good because it was a bunch of twists and turns, and I personally enjoy watching movies where I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, you'll try to predict something, and then they take a whole nother route. So, that was the best part about that one. The next movie is Fractured, which I'm pretty sure is a Netflix original movie. And to be honest, this one was kind of frustrating. Like, I recommend you watch it, but I'm the type of person where when I know someone is correct and like everyone keeps saying, oh, you're wrong, like I'm just watching a movie like, oh my god, like this. But then there's a plot twist that you don't expect because of that feeling at the end of the movie. Next movie, Tyler Perry, A Fall from Grace. I love Tyler Perry movies. I watch all Tyler Perry movies, and this one was completely different than any other movie I personally watch because it was real suspenseful. Like all his other movies, they're kind of more emotional or funny, but this one had a lot of suspense and, again, a plot twist where I feel like depending on how many movies you watch like this, you could probably predict certain parts of it, but not the whole thing, at least not for me. So, next movie, The Platform. This movie is in Spanish, and I recommend you watch it in Spanish with English subtitles. Obviously, you can watch it in English, but it won't be the same. Personally, I watched it in English only because I was doing something, so I didn't have to like look at them speaking off. Like, imagine you see my mouth moving, and then on top you hear a whole nother language, so it doesn't match up. If you're watching it and paying attention, watch it in Spanish. But if you're like playing a game, doing your work, and you just have the TV on, watch it in whatever language you speak so that it could be, understandable for you. The next movie, this movie is different from the rest on the list. This is kind of like a heartbreak romance type thing, Marriage Story. This movie was nominated for like so many awards. They won a lot of awards. The two lead actors are amazing, Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. Big actors and that have been in like a lot of stuff. And it kind of shows you what happens when people are going through a divorce and there's a child involved, and like all the changes that the child goes through, that both parents go through. But it focuses a lot more on the father, which most times it focuses more on the mother. So it's kind of like a different view, and is really emotional. If you get emotional for stuff. I personally don't cry very like easily, but this movie, it was like right there for me. And the last one is Minority Report. Now, I watched this 2 years ago, I think it was, for my English class, so it's kind of foggy in my brain, but I saw that they have it on Netflix now, and so I want to rewatch it, and I recommend that you guys watch it if you haven't already, because it was really good, and it was like some futuristic stuff, and Tom Cruise is the lead. I haven't really watched a movie with him that was bad, so I definitely recommend that. Now, funny stuff. Stand-up. I like to watch stand-up whenever I really, really want to laugh, and I'm just scrolling through the comedy section of Netflix, and there's, like, I don't know, for me, the comedy section of Netflix is lacking good comedy. Like, when I'm scrolling through that, I'm like, okay. And whatever is good, I already watched. So, I just go straight to stand-up. So, I don't have movies here. If you want to know good comedy movies to watch, comment down below, and I'll maybe make a video, or I'll respond to your comment with a good movie, but it might not be on Netflix is the only thing. But yeah, so good stand-up. Obviously, Kevin Hart. Stand-up king, whatever you want to call him. Everybody knows his stand-up. The picture that I have here is like the biggest meme now from one of his specials, and he has 5 stand-up specials. 5? Oh no, I lied. It's about 5. I think it's like 5 or 6 from like years and years ago, from when I was in probably 2nd grade or 1st grade, all the way till I think last year or 2 years ago. So he is still making more. For me personally, I watch them many times over, and so now when I watch it, I don't always laugh out loud. I kind of do that, like, it's funny, but you're laughing on the inside. If you want to have something new and you want to laugh out loud, like dying laughing, I watch Bert Kreischer. Oh my god, he is so funny. He has 3 different stand-ups on Netflix called Secret Time, The Machine, and Hey Big Boy is his most recent one. And The Machine is his most popular one. That's how I got introduced to him, like 2 years ago. One of my friends showed me like a clip of his stand-up where he's talking about going to Russia, and he was in college, and something about going to Russia, and he ended up being in a mob, and it was hilarious. So I definitely recommend watching him. It's really funny. And he does all his stand-up shirtless, which adds to the comedy because he's kind of bigger, and then he's shirtless the whole time, and then he uses his stomach. It's just hilarious. And the last one is a more like chill one. I feel like you have to really like his comedy. It's probably not for everybody, but Pete Davidson has a stand-up, and I watched it only because I watch SNL, and so I was curious to see his stand-up because I want to see why he got put on the show. You know, he's not on the show that often, so I want to see the comedy that got him there. Shows. Everybody loves to binge shows. This quarantine time is the time to watch a whole bunch of shows, so this will be good. Lucifer. I was recommended Lucifer by one of my friends, and I watched all 4 seasons. This show is so good. Like, I don't know what I expected from it, but it gave me everything that I needed out of the show, and it's still coming on. It's now a Netflix original. It wasn't before, but it is now, and so they're making one more season, and it'll be the final season. So if you get on it now, you can watch all 4 seasons before the final one comes out, and you can enjoy that. I'm gonna be so sad after that comes out, but yeah. The next show, Insatiable. Now, we know the Debbie Ryan, you know, if you're my age, you know the Debbie Ryan face. It's all up in this show because she is the lead character in Insatiable. And I just found out today that it got canceled. So if you want to watch it, it's only 2 seasons. It's pretty good in the 2 seasons. And honestly, it's like I like it, but I can kind of understand why it got canceled, because the first season, like, everyone was talking about it. It was really hyped up. In the second season, like, it wasn't as much hype around it, probably because it was a whole bunch of other better shows coming out. I don't know. Next show, BOJACK Horseman. This is kind of like, if you like Rick and Morty, a show like that, you'll like this. I didn't really get into Rick and Morty that much. I didn't really try that hard to, but it's for like people where anybody can enjoy it. But if you're smart and you understand life, you'll get some of the deeper meanings in each episode, and actually teaches you stuff. Like, you might see it as just some stupid show, but when you really pay attention and watch it, it's good. And so I'm comparing it to Rick and Morty because it's a cartoon type show. BOJACK Horseman, the lead character, is a horse. There's like animals and people within the show. It's good. It has 5 seasons. The season finale was in January, and that's another Netflix original. Honestly, I need to be in a Netflix original because half my list is Netflix originals, which means they are doing pretty good when it comes to TV. So, you know, if Netflix needs another actress, I'm always here. So, hey, so it's the next day, and I'm editing this video, and I just realized that under the shows category, I never talked about Money Heist. Oh my god, like, that's like my main show right now. Money Heist. Netflix original. So good. Like, I didn't even finish. I ain't even halfway done with the show. Like, I'm finally on part 2, right? Yeah, I'm finally on part 2 of the show. So I'm now starting that. So I definitely would recommend you watch the show. Watch it in Spanish. It is worth it. It's good. Like, all the characters are so good. My favorite character is Denver. I really like him. I don't know, his vibe. It's just so good. Right now, where I'm at, again, I'm in the beginning of part 2. So as of right now, I don't like Berlin. Like, Berlin was making me mad since, like, part 1. And Arturo, that's his name? Something like that. I don't like this man. Like, I started watching the show with my best friend, Adri, whose voice you hear in the beginning, actually. And, like, we were coming for this man. Like, we were watching the show together and just coming for his whole life because he is so annoying. But yeah, I definitely recommend you guys watch Money Heist, and I cannot believe that I forgot to talk about it in the actual video. I definitely want to be in a Netflix original. Last 2 shows are reality shows. So Love is Blind was the first one that I watched, the first one that came out. And it's really unique to me because the people, they have dates where they don't even see the person at all. They never see the person. And then they get to know each other like that. And they get engaged before even seeing the person. And it goes through all of that. And they're trying to, it's really like a psychology type thing. They're just trying to test if love is truly blind. Or if you have to see somebody to like fall in love, whatever. It was good. I'll slight spoiler, some people actually did make it at the end. Now, I'm not going to say who, because when I watched the show, I had it spoiled for me. So the whole time I was like, oh, I already know y'all make it. I'm good. But just know, I think it's 1 couple, 2 couples that make it. But it's one that I still like. And I see some of their YouTube videos and stuff, which was my favorite couple. But 2 of them make it. So just know, if you're like, oh my god, this show's stupid, none of them gonna end up coming out in the end. 2 people are married. Still married a year later. The show was filmed some time ago. And so when they released the show, they were able to do like at the end, you know, what is it called? A recap, whatever. When people come back and talk about what happened. Yeah, they were able to do reunion. They did a reunion episode. Okay. Next show, Too Hot to Handle. That's another, reality Netflix show. And it's basically like these dumb single people who don't understand the point of like relationships and stuff. They basically get thrown in this part where they have to change like their whole view on stuff, and they truly have to get to know people or they're gonna lose money. You start with $100,000, and depending on certain things you do, you could lose $20,000, $6,000, $3,000, and you don't just lose it for yourself. You lose it for the entire cast. So I think this show was really good. Like, I'm trying to compare it to Love is Blind, but like it's 2 different types of things. Limited series. These 2 limited series blew up, one more than the other, but I watched it to actually see if it was good, and I enjoyed both of them. The first one, the biggest one, Tiger King. I don't know how or why, even after watching the show, why it blew up so much, but it's actually interesting if you're into documentaries. So if you like finding out the truth about things and seeing how people really are, you should watch it. I don't suggest you watch it if you just want to see what the hype is about, because you're just going to be a little disappointed. You have to actually be into documentaries, which I am, to enjoy the show. So if you're not into documentaries, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to understand the hype. None of that. Like, even the main guy, his name Joe Exotic, he is like a crazy character, which is what a lot of people like, and a lot of celebrities like make meme videos out of it, whatever. But honestly, it's not interesting at all if you don't like documentaries. So this is for my documentary watchers only, this recommendation. Hello from editing me again. I said I had 2 limited series, and I did. The other one was Don't F With Cats, but I decided that wasn't like big recommendation. So if you want to watch it, it's called Don't F With Cats, but like, I don't know, it's real iffy to me, so you could be the judge. So now, for my Korean lovers, for my Asian lovers, I have 2 shows that me and my mom actually watched together. The first one, I really like this show. It has 2 seasons. I don't know if you heard this, my mom in the background.
Want to be down so bad.
It's called My First Love, and it's a really good K-drama. Like, I personally got into Korean shows and the language and all that in 8th grade. And so I started watching K-dramas back in 8th grade. Every time I would go to watch a K-drama, it would end up having one season and never come out with another season. It would be the best K-drama, and then boom, no more season. So this one, it only had one season again, and then I got a notification saying that season 2 came out. I looked it up. They're coming out with season 3 in a couple months, so I'm happy. I'll get more of this show. So if you want to watch it, you can start now, and they're going to come out with a season 3 so we can all enjoy it together. So I enjoyed it. And you know, if I have my mom watching it, she's not a Korean drama person. Now she is.
I love it.
She loves it. But the next one that we didn't finish yet, we're still watching, is Love Alarm. We like, what, 3 episodes in? Like, and this show is good. By the first episode, I put it on my list. The first episode, I put it on my list because it's like about 50 minutes long, an episode, about that. And so it's long enough for you to get into it. It's really good. So with this one, I can tell you a little something about it, which is different than anything I've ever seen. It's based off this app called Love Alarm, where they download the app on their phone, and if you like click the thing, you get to find out if anyone likes you or loves you within a 10-meter radius of you. So just imagine. You like somebody, you want to know if they like you. All you got to do is have your phone, have the app open. They have to have the app too. And when you don't even have to walk past them. You just have to be within 10 meters of them, and you can find out if they like you. You don't have to go through nothing. You just find out so easy. So this seems like it's good, but it could also be problematic.
You don't have to go through rejection.
Literally. You literally don't have to go through. But the thing is, watch the show. Because rejection still is going to happen. Like, if the person doesn't like you, you're still going to find out. But you find out in a different way. And so you ask yourself, is it better to find out from the person, or is it better to find out from the app? If you don't know, watch the show. Simple. Last 2 things. My black movies. I need to watch more Netflix black movies, because I have movies on DVD that I watched growing up, and like classics and movies that I personally love, but I don't watch any often on Netflix. So I'm gonna watch more. But right now, I have, the first one isn't even a movie. It's a limited series, the Madam C.J. Walker series. That was really good, and it lets you know your history. Even though it's not 100% accurate, it's only inspired by her life. It's not based on a true story. It's not like based on her life. It's inspired by her life, which is a completely different meaning than being based on a true story, if you didn't know that. So, but it's still good, and it's still Madam C.J. Walker, and the lead is Octavia Spencer. You know her. You love her. She's from Ma, The Help, Hidden Figures, like, she is good, and she plays the character really well. So definitely recommend that. The next one is more of an older movie, Cadillac Records. Really older. But I actually watched it for the first time recently because I wasn't able to watch it while I was younger. And so now that I'm older, I was like, okay, I can probably watch it now. And I love 2 songs that was on there that Beyonce sang, but it's not originally her song. I think it's, who was it? Etta James, I think. That's the character she was playing. It was her songs, but I always listened to Beyonce version of it from the movie. And so I got to actually see like the storyline behind it and what was really happening. And I enjoy the movie. I recommend watching it because you learn a lot about what was going on behind the scenes with certain black artists. And I learned some stuff that I didn't know, even in this movie. About like what was going on with the white people and the white people that was blowing up at this time, and where that type of music really came from, which, surprise, surprise, was the black people. So I definitely recommend watching that. But that's all that I have on my list of what to watch on Netflix. If you want me to make a part 2, comment down below, like the video, and I will definitely make a part 2. Yeah, I'm still trying to come up with this ending of the video. What were you gonna say? What were you saying? I don't really know how I'm supposed to end this, but bye.